Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody. As always, hopefully you are all having a wonderful weekend or a wonderful week whenever it is that you are listening. So here we are, Anne, Sunday morning.
Yes, they go really quick at the moment, don't they? Time seems to be speeding up.
I think we've been saying that for the last year or so. It really does seem that way, yes.
I don't know this year, though. To think now, it's
Yes.
nearly the end of January, we're going into February.
It is, yeah, the
really
start
quick.
of... Yeah,
It seems
turning into February,
weeks
yes.
since we were in India.
Yes.
A lot longer than what it is. When you think it was only just before Christmas we went to India. It seems ages ago.
Yes, almost 2 months ago.
Mm.
Wow, that has flown.
It has, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, where would you like to start this morning then?
I'd like to start really in general, with some programmes that we've been watching. And this, I think, are important that other people watch, not just ourselves.
Yes.
And even, some people may not like them, but if something changes our own minds, makes us think, I think it's good for us all.
Yes.
And this one particular programme made me think, and it made me think very deeply. It's not finished yet, we're still watching, there's still some more series in it, but it's one about the prison.
Yes, Waiting for the Out on
Yes.
BBC One and BBC iPlayer. Waiting for the Out. Yes, it's brilliant.
And I'm surprised there's not been more publicity about it, to be honest.
It has had some rave reviews
that's
that
good.
I have seen. I haven't looked into it, but I have seen and heard on the radio that many critics and the general masses of people are loving it and, like you, are finding it powerful, thought-provoking.
Because I don't think it was advertised. So, some programmes are advertised for a long time before, aren't they? And I just happened to see this one in passing.
Yes.
And thought, I'll have a look at that one and see. Because a friend of ours has worked in the prison and thought, she might like it.
Yes.
So it's nothing that I expected at all.
Right.
So I expected it not to be like porridge.
Yeah.
If it had been like porridge, it would be completely different. But that's before your time, porridge.
Yes, I know porridge, yes.
You know porridge, yeah.
Godba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like porridge.
What did you say, Mr. Mackay? Nothing. Fletcher.
So I had, we do have preconceptions, don't we, of how
Yes,
how
yes.
things are going to be, and I
Yes.
just thought it was a prison one that would be quite funny. And in some ways it is, isn't it? Some ways it does make you laugh.
I suppose so. Yes, it does.
But you have to have a bit of a sick sense of humour to understand it.
Yes.
So what it is it's a man who goes to work in a prison. So it's from him getting ready
Yes.
to go to his job in this prison
Yes, he does.
to teach philosophy,
Yes.
which you can't imagine. Even that in itself is the thoughts of somebody going to a prison to teach philosophy
Yes.
to a group of men. So I myself didn't expect it to be as deep as it is, but it stirred so many feelings within myself. And it's difficult to explain because you're on the edge of your seat. Sometimes you can't breathe because of what's happening.
Yeah, true.
Other times, you're shocked. You're shocked at what's going on. So in this particular programme, he gives, he does philosophy for a group of the prisoners that are there.
Yes, he does, yes.
What again interested me was that I didn't expect prisoners to learn philosophy. So why should I expect a prisoner not to have intellect?
True.
Which was wrong. It made me think about myself. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Because I didn't think of them learning philosophy. And yet I have heard of them doing degrees while they're in prison.
Yes, that's true.
So the personalities of each prisoner and himself come to the fore during these philosophy lessons.
Yes.
But the man himself has got OCD, and it's painful.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so painful to watch.
Yes.
And I've never, I know people who have OCD, but I've never understood the torment within themselves. And this programme has made me understand the torment that some of them go through.
Yes, it really is extreme. His particular compulsive disorder.
Yes.
You'll have to watch it, and absolutely, it's brilliant. It really, really is brilliant. So hopefully you are watching it, and if you are not, you will be able to get it on the iPlayer, BBC iPlayer, on the catch-up service, waiting for the out. It really is so compelling. It really is excruciatingly brilliant. And it's on at the moment, and I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5 or 6 episodes in. I think it's 4 or 5 episodes in. And like you've been saying, Anne, it makes you think, it makes you reflect. It's deep. It's very, very deep. And each episode is episodic in as much as it has its particular theme, title of the episode, and it explores a particular concept. So it's got that philosophy element in its dramatisation, in how it's been written, and it really is masterful. The writing and the acting as a piece of drama and as a series of drama. It's TV gold. It's really, really good.
Yeah, to teach us. It's teaching me as it goes along as well, because I knew nothing about philosophy.
Yeah.
So it's making me think.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I agree. It does make you think.
And the arguments that the prisoners have with each other, and it's bringing out their personalities. And the sad thing is, one of them has written a book, hasn't he?
Yes, his memoirs. One of the prisoners has put together on paper his memoirs, his life story, and has given it to the teacher, the young teacher, asking for his help, how he can put it together. And unfortunately, I don't want to say too much, because you may well have not seen it and want to see it, but it isn't necessarily legible, and it's heartbreaking in a sense. And you feel it, don't you? You really feel a deep compassion for the individuals, all of the individuals.
Yes.
And what's brilliant, you're seeing it from all sides as well. So from the teacher, from his perspective, and outside of prison in his life, the prisoners, the inmates, but also then the officers, the prison officers, the prison guards, the prison wardens, the stresses and the pressures that they're dealing with, the system as it is, and how everybody's life is affected and how everybody's life crosses over each other's, and how it touches all of our lives, directly, indirectly, via somebody else, via our family members, and as a community, as a society, as a people. It's our issue.
Yes, because one of them has a child, doesn't he?
One of the inmates, yes.
One of the inmates.
Yes.
He's 3.
Yes.
So we're learning about that as well, and that he's released, and then because of a clerical error, he's taken back in again.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
Yes, it's his release
birthday.
day. Yes, he has literally, as all of them, well, the majority of them, waiting for their out, and it's his out day, and he's taken to the front desk, and he's got his out clothes on, as he says, and at the last minute, spoiler alert, I know, so I'm sorry about that, he's told that because of a clerical error, his release papers haven't been processed properly. So an administrative error has meant that he has to now wait for it to be reprocessed, and it can take up to 6 weeks, maybe more, and he has to go back inside, even though he's finished his sentence.
And his child's outside waiting.
And his wife and his young child is waiting outside in a car, and it's the child's birthday at the weekend, and it's so stirring in feeling, isn't it? It's emotional. It's not just one emotion, it's emotional, and it's teaching. It's difficult to watch, but it's so compelling.
Absolutely.
It holds your attention. It grips you.
And it's teaching it's actually showing people how the interaction of life itself.
Yes.
That of all those people within that prison, they're all connected. With each other in some form.
Yes.
So then if we look at that, we then can look at the same thing that's happening within the health service, within the hospitals. Because all of their
Yes.
lives are interacted.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you
The
think of
patients
that?
and the doctors and the nurses and the medical professionals,
Yes.
the support workers, the cleaners, the family members that go to visit, the friends that go to visit. It's this hive of interconnected experience. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, that's life. That's all of us. If we draw back from that metaphor together, if we all visually draw ourselves back, we see that that's all of us.
Yes.
That's our country. And if you draw back again, that's our continent. If you draw back again, that's the planet Earth. That
Yes.
we are all influencing each other and having an impact on each other by everything we do and everything we don't do, by everything we say and everything we don't say. It has a direct and an indirect, an unavoidable impact on everybody else. We shape our
Yes.
experience together. We are one humanity.
Yes.
Quite literally, not just poetically, quite literally.
So then we take it again into education.
Yes.
Is that what we're not thinking is we're critical of all our services, and quite rightly so in a lot of ways.
Yes.
But we're not thinking as our child goes to school. We're not thinking that as that teacher's left his home, something's just happened in his life.
Yes.
We're only interested in the life of our child
Yes.
and what's
Absolutely.
happening with them
Yeah.
at school.
Yes.
And we've not stopped to think that maybe that teacher reacted that day because he'd left home and his own child was really poorly.
The pressures of life are applied to everybody, aren't they? Not always in the same way at the same time, but there isn't anybody that's not under the stress and the strain and the pleasure
Yes.
and the pain of life. You know, life's roller coaster we are all on. It affects us all differently, and we all have our own individual ride, but we are all on it together.
Yes.
And I do feel recognising that can make it more enjoyable, can bring us closer together, can deepen our empathy, and can help
It's what we've lost, really.
help us move forward together in a way that's far more cohesive, and not all, but a lot of the unnecessary problems and suffering that's at the moment we can alleviate to a degree, and I hope to a large degree that we can make our lives better in the simplest of ways by bringing our awareness of each other closer. Not necessarily each other closer, I
No.
mean in terms of deepening our empathy, our compassion, our humanity.
I agree. I think an example of this happened with myself this week. Is my daughter, who's works in a school,
Yes.
was working in the special unit with children with difficulties.
Right, okay.
I don't mean medical difficulties, difficult
Behavioural
behaviour.
difficulties, yes.
And she's been there since she went into this unit in September, where children,
Yes.
primary children up to 7, are
Wow.
throwing chairs and
Right,
throwing
okay.
things at each other.
Okay.
And it's really bad.
Yes.
And she has a natural understanding, really. She doesn't get herself worked up. She's not that type of person. And she sees the children as children,
Yes.
not as lots of people do, these little monsters. She is very good with them. She's always been like that. She was like it with her own children. But she said to me, this is just an example, is that she goes to work, she enjoys her work, she sees the children as individuals and treats them as individuals. But the headmaster called her in this week and said to her, we want you to come back onto the other unit, we need you there. Because she's very good at getting the children reading.
Yes.
And she said, we need you to come back. And she said, so I said, what did you do? She said, inside, I went, yeah.
Yeah.
She said, outside, I said, okay.
Yeah.
But that is an example, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that
Yeah.
many of us are doing things, making the best of it,
Yeah.
but somebody comes along and inside you're going, wow.
Yes.
But you just go, yes, okay.
Yeah. The relief.
The relief.
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Um,
We all know what that feels like, don't we?
But then we have a
different
guilt,
times.
don't we, with it? If we feel like that, sometimes we're made to feel guilty.
Yes, a double-edged sword. Yes.
And that's life. So
Happy to go, but sad to leave.
yes. And I think that's where, this is what the programme itself is doing. It's making, it's waking up something inside that of this connection with me more than anything. The connection of everybody.
Well, that, to me, sounds extremely positive and really beneficial. And, isn't that wonderful? And I hope everybody watches it, and I hope everybody has their own experience. And it may well be different for different people. It will be, to varying degrees. Yes. And that's drama at its best. That's storytelling at its best. When it reflects back life and it changes how we see ourselves and how we see each other, and it deepens compassion, it grows empathy, and it makes us question the way that we view life. It can confirm and deepen bonds, ties, ideas that we already hold, or it can fundamentally challenge and change how we perceive things and how we think. That's the power of story. That's the power of truth taken to its ultimate sense. And drama has that ability when done well. And this particular drama series, Waiting for the Out, is masterful. It really is, as a package, in my personal, humble opinion, is a brilliant piece of drama. It really is. So I cannot recommend it enough. And I hope if you do watch it, you feel the same. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Although it isn't easy to watch. It's not fun and it's not light, but it isn't dark and miserable either. It is...
You laugh as well, though, don't you? You laugh as well as want to cry, as want to...
It really is.
It stirs every...
It's stirring, isn't it? That's a really
very stirring,
good word.
It stirs every
an
emotion.
Apt word to describe it. It stirs emotion itself. It's deep.
And I would say... if you're watching it, watch it with the feeling yourself.
Yes.
Don't just skim over it because you have to. At one point, a female warden does something, and I'm not going to say because you have to watch it and see it yourself. But she does something and loses her temper.
Yes.
At one point.
Yeah.
And then the next incident, she does something with the prisoner, and she's doing it because she's felt conscience.
Yeah.
So that makes you realise that they have conscience as well.
Of course
They're not as tough as people think. And she was sorry, and she made, she didn't say it to him, but she tried to make it right. And isn't it wonderful if that's what we do in life when we make mistakes, we try to make them right.
And in that particular case, which I always find interesting, is maybe therefore the mistake wasn't a mistake at all. Because if it brings you to a place of a new understanding, or it brings out of you the goodness that's inside, how could it be a mistake? No. It's only a mistake in that particular moment if seen in isolation, but maybe it's the precursor to another moment in which the best of humanity can come to the fore. So sometimes an element of challenge and provocation has to happen to stir an opening. And that opening brings forth something truly meaningful. That is philosophical to see it like that.
But it's because the philosopher was there at the time.
Absolutely, maybe. We're all influenced. We're all mini Platos and Socrates watching it. It really makes you think deeply about oneself, life, love, death, meaning. It's all in there. There you go. And fingers crossed you all agree and enjoy.
Yes.
Something that I think is interesting, Anne, and it's being discussed at the moment right the way to the top of politics across the world, and many things are being talked about, but in the UK at the moment there are many things happening. But mobile phones in schools is something we've spoken about.
Yes. Feel strongly about.
A number of times. No, I feel very strongly about it as well. And if you've listened to any of the previous podcast episodes, particularly some of the early ones, you know that this is something that we feel strongly about, and we've spoken about at great length. And we've spoken about Australia being at the forefront of change, if I get my fuffers out, about banning social media and attempting to ban it anyway. Well, it has taken a step forward in the United Kingdom, not to being changed, but certainly talked about changing the law around mobile phones in schools. So the Education Secretary has sent out a letter, an email, to head teachers of schools in the United Kingdom. Oh, sorry, England, I think. England and Wales, or England. Scotland is devolved, I think. Definitely England, maybe Wales as well, with guidance. Now, it isn't legislation and it isn't a directive, but it is guidance saying that mobile phones should not be used, seen, interacted with in schools at all with students, and that is the expectation. So I see that as a huge positive step. I would like it to be far firmer than that and quicker than that now.
I'd
but
like it to be banned.
That's what I'm saying, but it is a step in the right direction. And also, what is being muted, and again, only in the foothills of change, but still moving in the direction of people talking about it, thinking about it within political circles. Many parents have been talking about it for a long time, is banning social media for children under the age of 16, or certainly certain social media platforms. Now, again, this is not happened, and it isn't planned to happen, but it is being spoken about in certain circles, political circles, think tanks, advisory bodies, parental teacher circles. It's definitely gaining traction. And we have spoken passionately before about it, in that we fundamentally do not agree with mobile phones being in schools, and social media, generally speaking, for everybody, but certainly for children, is not helpful pretty much most of the time, and is not helping children develop friendships. It is making children, generally speaking, antisocial, and is not helping mental health with people and children. It is, generally speaking, being detrimental to mental health, and most people, pretty much everybody, if they're honest, knows this to be true to varying degrees. So thankfully, the issue is coming to the fore, and there is positive movement from this particular perspective. And I am pleased about that, and I wanted to share that in case you were not aware. However, I am sure that many of you are very much aware. And you may feel differently, and that's wonderful as well, and maybe with good reason. But from our perspective, I can't speak for you, but I do know broadly, definitely how you feel, Anne, and I'm sure many of you listening. This is something that has to change. It really, really has to change, particularly with social media platforms, certain social media platforms, not having any regulations in place for things like pornography and all kinds of things. Children get on the dark
web, don't they?
It's not even on the dark web now, and it's just accessible, yes, and it's beyond sick and twisted. It's awful. It's really, truly awful. And adults, children are watching content that is awful.
So are adults.
Absolutely. I listened to something on the radio. Now, I haven't got the facts or figures to hand. So, broadly speaking, the rates of online paedophilia and child pornographic material, the rates of consumption online has gone through the roof. And the United Kingdom, I think, again, I haven't got the facts and figures in front of me, is something like the third highest consuming nation in the world. If it isn't that, then I'm incorrect. But it's the United Kingdom is up there. I think it's third in terms of individuals watching, consuming child pornographic material. And that is absolutely horrifying in every way. This has to change, and children have to be protected, and the world is not doing that job. And I've said it many times, you've said it, and to me, nothing is more important than children. If someone was to ask me, and I have been asked before, what is the most important, valuable, precious element, material, substance, product, the most valuable thing, the most valuable anything on earth, it is children. Children are the most valuable to me. Every single child, not one child, every single child is of that value.
They are our future.
Yes.
And we're bringing up damaged children.
Yes.
So it would be, if we have to change it, because it will become, it is a damaged world.
Yes. Well, hopefully this is a step in the right direction, and more people are becoming aware about it, and I agree with you, Anne. Something we were speaking about the other day, Anne, is not just mobile phones, it's all the technology in our lives. You were saying you've been speaking to people about pregnancy and the amount of scans that mothers are having. You know more about it than I do, so I'll hand it over to you. But mothers, pregnant mothers going for scans, but more and more scans happening more frequently. So over to you.
It's because what's happening is that we get greedy. We get greedy and we want to know things before they happen. We don't have anticipation anymore. Whereas there was no such thing when I was having my children, so everything was a surprise. So when your child was born and it came out, and the first thing you said, "Is it all right? Has
Yes.
it got 5 fingers and 5 toes, 10 fingers and 10 toes?" That's what you always used to ask.
Right.
I don't know why that mattered, but that's what everybody asked. Has it got 10 fingers and 10 toes?
Okay.
A madness,
Yeah.
but yes.
Okay, yeah.
But what sex is it? Because we didn't know the sex. There was no way
Yes.
of knowing what sex it was.
Right.
But now they have scans
Yes.
to see.
And gender reveal
And
parties.
yes, so they have scans at 3 weeks. When they've about 6 weeks, they can find out they're pregnant.
Yes.
And they'll go and have scans on that little fetus that is only just developing. And then after they've had, and then as it gets after 12 weeks, they can go every 3 weeks and have a 3D scan. Now that's more radiation. A 3D scan means you see all the features of the baby.
Yes.
The lips and everything. You can actually see what the baby's going to be like before it's born.
Right.
And that's disturbing for me, because why are you putting why are you altering that baby's field around it when it should be lying in peace?
So it's being exposed to radiation.
Exposed to radiation, and nobody's looking at it.
More and more often.
More and more often.
At a greater intensity.
Yes,
That's what
what
you're
I'm
saying,
And that bothers me. That really bothers me, because
Right.
that baby's brain and his body's developing.
Yes. So what
And its
impact
tissues.
is that having?
And I don't know,
Yeah.
because I can only assume something's happening because I know what radiation does. But I think we should stop. I think it's time not only with the AI, I think we should stop and think and rewind
Yes.
in things that we're doing, because everything is getting out of hand. And that to me is starting in that baby in the womb. We're altering that baby's structure.
Yes.
I don't know, because no tests have been done, but I think we should start looking at children at a much younger age and looking what's happening with their minds.
Yes, it feels like, and it is like in terms of observing, a lack of wisdom.
Yes.
So what's happened with the mobile phones, for anybody with any kind of joined up thinking, was inevitable.
Yes.
It was going to be tremendously destructive.
Yes.
And it is. Now that was predictable. So to what extent is variable, but it was clear it was going to be a huge problem. And it is. Overexposure to certain levels of radiation is going to have detrimental effects. How detrimental and what transpires is variable and
Yes.
to be known, hopefully. But it will be after the fact, whereas wisdom
Yes.
is to recognise this isn't wise. Now, each individual can make their own decision and may still go ahead with certain things, but people are not thinking and they're not being informed with wisdom, not necessarily with fear of awful outcomes,
No.
but with wisdom as to what would be seen as generally wise. We've lost that wisdom. It's almost like a generational wisdom has been usurped by technology, really. So
Yes.
it isn't even, I don't know, paediatric nurses or doctors or anybody involved in, the journey of a child coming onto this earth. It's not that people are pushing it.
No.
It's available and parents are going for
Yes.
it. And that isn't for medical reasons, is it? And in some areas, curiosity, but it's gone past curiosity, because once they know that the baby is developing and once they know the sex of the baby, what else is there to know other than to prepare for it? So what you're saying is that curiosity has gone beyond itself. It's become obsession, maybe. I don't know. I'm speculating, but there's something feeding and growing it, that people have an insatiable appetite to keep
Yes.
pushing further and further the boundaries.
So the same,
and that is concerning in all areas of our life, and we're all a part of it.
Yeah.
I recognise it with myself as well, not with baby scans, but with what I expose myself to.
Yes.
Particularly my own mobile phone. It really does make me think about it. So we all have our lives to reflect upon.
Yeah. So just before we finish, what
Yes.
I'd like to say is that, just to conclude what I've been thinking, what I've been saying about is,
Okay.
you mentioned the mobile phones and what's happening within the law.
Well, what's
Yeah.
happened? What's been spoken about? Yes.
I know it's not
Yeah.
been made law yet, but I was listening to what you were saying about the lack of, not for them not to use them. If they're talking about it, what they should be talking about as well now is that, and they should bring this in now, is that children cannot use AI for exams.
Again, that is common sense.
Because
And
it is all common sense, but that's what's happened is now children are not having their brains developed. So if they can use AI, again, we're stopping brains being developed. Because they're not, you have to develop your own intellect.
Yes.
I mean, do people think suddenly you're intelligent? We're not. You've got a genius, but a genius has to learn knowledge
Yes.
to be a genius.
Yes. Well, yes. Well, the latent potential
Yes.
intelligence has to be drawn out.
Yes, exactly.
And you're right. Neurologically,
It won't be drawn out.
the brain has to be developed, but also in terms of ideas have to be formulated and shaped, and
Yes.
and the strength of arguments and how to apply something.
Yes.
That's so important. There's knowledge and there's wisdom. Knowledge is what we know. This is oversimplified, but it's one way of conceiving it.
No, knowledge is what we're taught.
Well, that's a type of knowledge. Knowledge is what we know, either taught or innate. Wisdom is how we use what we know. That isn't necessarily
Wisdom is your knowing, isn't it?
that isn't necessarily the only way of conceiving it and defining it. It's broader and wider than that.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, knowledge is what we know,
Yeah.
and wisdom is how we apply what we know. So we can have a lot of knowledge and apply it in all kinds of different ways that are not wise.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you could try and paint your wall with a spoon,
Yeah.
which isn't a wise thing to do, but you can know what a spoon is and know what paint is,
Yes.
and know that the wall needs to be painted and be very willing and very able to paint. But if you use a spoon, you're not going to get very far. Now, it's not a lack of intelligence in terms of initial, but it's a lack of wisdom to pick up the spoon. I mean, in some respects, of course,
Wisdom's
it's intelligent.
lacking in this world at the moment, though.
Yes,
Isn't it?
yes. I mean, one of the great quotes that is said is that knowledge is to know that a tomato is a fruit. That's knowledge. Wisdom is that you don't put it in a fruit salad.
Yes. But I put my fruit on my salad.
Yes, well, that's the reverse.
The
Absolutely.
reverse, yeah.
Yeah. Well, lots to think about this morning, Anne. And as always, we don't have a script. We don't have anything planned. We sit down, off we go, and we speak in the moment and see where it goes. And in case you missed it, I don't think you will have done. We said it a few times, but the television programme, BBC One, Waiting for the Out, and you will be able to get that on BBC iPlayer. Another series that we haven't spoken about this morning, Anne, but I know that we love. Like The Doghouse on Channel 4,
Yes.
we've also discovered Pete Wicks for Dog's Sake. So maybe we can talk about that
Yes.
next week and in the weeks to come. Again, very moving, thought-provoking, and
Yes.
wonderful in a different way. So if you enjoyed The Doghouse or any other particular heartwarming, life-affirming programmes with about wonderful dogs, I am certain you will enjoy Pete Wicks for Dog's Sake on,
Yes.
I think it's U&W, which is a new channel, I think. U&W. Double check that one, everybody, but I'm sure Pete Wicks for Dog's Sake, you will be able to find it.
Yeah. And if you do
yes.
watch the one we've been talking about,
Waiting for the Out.
yes, put some comments and tell us what you think about it.
Yes.
Because we'd love to hear what you feel about something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's thought-provoking.
It
and we'd like
really
to
is.
hear from
It
you.
really is thought-provoking. Or
Thank
any
you.
suggestions for us, books to read, music to
Yes.
listen to, television programmes to watch, films to watch, anything. And not just for us, for other people listening, people who read. the comments, watch anything.
Yes.
I know a number of you do comment, and thank you for your feedback. And many of you often like and share what we're doing, and that really, really helps.
Yes.
So thank you for listening. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for any and all support, encouragement in any way, shape or form. And as long as one of you enjoys listening and continues to want to hear these podcasts, we will continue to sit down and record them. And hopefully it isn't just one, it's 1 million. And hopefully not just 1 million, it's 1 billion, it's everybody.
Yes.
But as long as
nice.
as long as one of you genuinely enjoys these Sunday morning discussions, we will sit down and continue them, because we enjoy it as well, Anne, don't we?
Yes, we
And I hope you all feel that and recognise that as well, that we enjoy spending time with you, not physically, but spending time with you and talking with each other as well. And you, we're always thinking about you as well. So we cannot thank you enough. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody, a wonderful week if you're listening during the week. Enjoy Waiting for the Hour. Enjoy Pete Wicks, For Dog's Sake. And let us know what you think.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.